Coming to you live from the foothills of Appalachia, depending who you ask, near Waynesville, North Carolina. Hello, everybody, and welcome. Happy Friday!
I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be. 'Cause I'm free in my RV. Yeah.
Well, hello, everybody. I hope you're all having a great time today, and hopefully you can see me well. It's not gonna be the highest quality. I try to use what I call Pelistar, which is the Starlink service, but I have too many obstructions here, too many trees. So we're using the next best thing, which is one of the cell phone networks, not working great. By the way, I want everybody to say happy birthday to our friend Dylan Reynolds. It is his 19th birthday, and man, I thought your 18th was yesterday. Time flies when you're having fun, and everybody wish happy birthday to Dylan, of course, and happy birthday, dear Dylan. Happy birthday to you. Ba-da-bam, bam, bam, bam. And the bar is officially open. The RV DJ, you just got out from your second carpal tunnel surgery. Well, take it easy with that mouse. We don't want you to suffer any injuries, but I'm glad you are out of surgery, and hopefully it'll be a quick recovery. Christopher Olson, hello there, and Miriam Marek, off on Robert's Adventures. Any news about the new truck? Not yet. Hello, Ruben Quinones, and Trailer Traveling. Good evening, Traveling Robert and Liliana Sanchez. Happy Friday from Ottawa, the Canadian capital, the Great White North. Apple and Rob, our friends. Apple and Rob from the Captain's Hideaway. Happy Friday, brother. From Blue Ridge, Georgia, relatively close to us. Lovely town, Blue Ridge, Georgia. I really like it down there. And Randall Wolf, outdoors enjoying the mountain air here in Tennessee. Actually, it's very pleasant here. We're stone throw away from the Tennessee state line, and the weather has been nice. I mean, we don't need air conditioner here, unlike South Florida. It's been very nice, and I love this area. And Waynesville, great town. We were just there downtown, hanging out with our friends Bob and Sue. Not Bob and Sue from DeLand, Florida. Bob and Sue from Waynesville, North Carolina. Colin McSherry, hi Robert. Just visited Mount Rainier National Park. Have you been there? Not yet. I've seen Mount Rainier from afar, but I haven't been to the national park yet. Where did the time box go? I don't know. What's the time box? Sunflower Girl, good evening. And Traveling Nate Dog wishing Dylan happy birthday. Thank you so much. And Golden Shores, Arizona. Can't wait to get back to Arizona. And look who's here. Hey, Sue. Happy birthday, Dylan. And Zulema is here. She probably can see me from her patio there. By the way, today we're drinking, and I bought a Waynesville beer. Maybe we'll have it next Friday. But this was a present from a gentleman who invited me to pancakes yesterday or the day before yesterday in Pigeon Forge. Mr. Justin, thank you so much. And this is a Cahaba IPA from Birmingham, Alabama. Cheers. Oh, this is really good. Greg Matthews, hi Robert. You said your video of New Mexico when you went to a little Mexican restaurant. You look for a tracker in your car. Were you leaving as you were leaving? What's the reason behind that? That was it. Just If you watch Breaking Bad, it was just a bad Breaking Bad joke. It was at that very restaurant that someone left a GPS tracker on a car. Of course, in Breaking Bad, it's called Los Pollos Hermanos, but was that at that restaurant there in Albuquerque? It was just a Breaking Bad reference. Oh, time box at the top of the screen has gone AWOL. I know what happened. I removed it. Okay, let's put the clock first, and then I'll have to fix. What day is today? May 13th. By the way, happy Friday the 13th, which for many people is supposed to be bad luck, but for me, it has always been a good luck date. So, and of course, in Spain, where I spent a year and a half, Tuesday the 13th is supposed to be the bad luck day. And I arrived in the United States on a Tuesday the 13th, December 13th, 1988 to be exact. So, Chris Morrison, thank you for that super sticker. Thank you so much. And yes, thumbs up to you too. hmm I mean, who else is here? Oliver DeVries, greetings from Pleasant Hill, California. Well, greetings. And I want to go back to California. Hello from Hiawassee, Georgia. That's right on the North Carolina border, isn't it? And Remin Pasión, good to see you, Traveling Robert. Happiest birthday to Dylan Reynolds. Yes, absolutely. And Gentle Fire. Hi all, hope you're having a wonderful and adventurous weekend. We've been having a great time here hanging out with Robert and Sulema. And I just love this area of the country. And we're just making our way northeast, slowly working our way northeast as part of this trip. Jim in DC, we're getting rain out of the way before you get to DC. Oh, thank you so much. By the way, I'm editing that DC video right now. And the last time we were in DC, they greeted us with sub-freezing temperatures, at least with the wind chill. And now we can hopefully it's rain, right? I'm sure we'll be good. And I'm really looking forward to going back to DC. And then that will be kind of the beginning of the actual Lewis and Clark trip going west. Superstition is a man-made thing that does not actually do anything. Yeah, I kind of tend to agree, but it's fun, to think of things as good luck or bad luck, right? Hey, Mr. CLT in the house. Hold on, I think we have a visitor coming. Intruder alert. And here we have Sulema in the house. Hey, Sue.
Happy birthday, Dylan!
Yay.
And this is for you.
Oh, more beer? No, what?
Yeah, well, this is from New
Hard seltzer. All right.
Enjoy it.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Have a good one.
Thank you, Sulema. Really appreciate it. Sue. Sorry, Sue. All right. Sue, Bob and Sue are hosting us here at their place in Waynesville, North Carolina. And we've had a great time, let me tell you. This is a small town with a lot to offer. Hakim Olajuwon, Traveling Robert, when do you anticipate being in Sacramento? To be honest, I have no idea. I know the plan. I know Sacramento is in the plan, but there are too many variables from here to Sacramento. Namely, I mean, I may even have to go back to Pelicamp for a couple of days before actually heading west. So I don't know. I will know by the end of the month for sure. I'll have a better idea of at least the date when we are at least getting close to the west coast. So thank you, Colin McSherry. Hi, Robert. My birthday 22 tomorrow. Please sing happy birthday. Happy birthday, Colin McSherry. At 22, happy birthday, dear Colin. Happy birthday to you. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Camping Dad, hello, Robert. Love your videos. Keep up the good work. I'm in my camper for the first time this season watching. Well, and we are in the camper. We're actually as off grid as you can get. Um, and yeah, let me show you. I was gonna do this with Starlink, but just the outages are just too many. It's not gonna work. So I'm using actually a reseller for T-Mobile, and I'm using that fancy Vanguard antenna that actually makes the internet much better. So and so far it seems to be working. So um, um, come to Castaic. Yeah, I was at the Castaic Lake RV park there, and then I went to visit my madrina, my godmother, who lives. It's not Santa Clarita. It's Canyon Country. Bob Leach, is your AC running now? If it is, we can't hear it. Is your sobriety coach or your supplier? Is she your sobriety coach or supplier? Um, Maybe both. Uh, in any case, we're here. We're not running the AC. It's very pleasant here in near Waynesville, North Carolina. We are at a higher elevation, and it's very nice. Stephen Loy, hey Robert and Lily, you must check out Highway 151 area of Virginia. All right, and yeah, we've been out and about pretty much all day. It's been a good day. Teen Can Carl, howdy neighbor. Are you in Pelicamp? I mean, in your property down there in Taylor County right now, or are you still up in New York? What do you call it, Rancho del Carl or something like that? Kevin Bentley wants a beer too. Hey Sue, more beer. I wish I could send you the beer through the interwebs. And Moorhead City, North Carolina is the place to be. Moorhead. Yeah, I've been there. Nice town. Hey, William Irizarry. Happy Friday, Robert and fellow Pelican heads around the world. Happy Friday to everybody. And oh my God, love Waynesville. Can't wait to get back. It's a nice town, and the area. We're this is like the gateway to the Smokies in a way. So, traveling Robert, give me a 3 day notice, and I can go in your place. Okay, we can do that. Um, well, this is the thing. I have to go back to Pelicamp at some point because they're gonna put the shed over Minitini I, the original, and at some point by the end of the month, I might be getting a new tow vehicle. So the rest of the trip depends on those two variables. And once I know those two variables, yeah. William, we're near Waynesville, North Carolina, which is near Asheville, in a sense. Thank you, Robin Minkler, for that super chat. Thank you so much. Oh, James Cantonese is here too. And hello, Maxine Oliver. Happy Friday the 13th. I'm in New York for the summer. Yes, Rancho del Carl. At some point, I have to visit you there at Rancho del Carl when you come back to Florida. TGI, free in my RV. Are you free in your RV, Niam Pony? We've certainly had a good time. We were in Pigeon Forge for a couple of days, and that was a lot of fun. We enjoyed it tremendously. I mean, we didn't do a whole lot if you think about it, but we enjoyed Gatlinburg a lot. And Gatlinburg is that type of tourist trap kind of town. But there are tourist traps and there are tourist traps, and Gatlinburg is one of the good ones. I mean, yeah, it's touristy and all that, but it's fun. You have the ski lifts, and you have the what you call it. Oh man, of all the things I lost, it is my mind that is the most. The moonshine tastings, and you have good restaurants and a bunch of little kitschy attractions that that are just fun, And we didn't do much. We did two of the ski lifts. By the way, it's a great place to spend a small fortune in really nothing, but when in Rome, right? Mm. Hi, Robert. When will you be close to New Jersey again? I don't know, man. Maybe next fall, but I don't really have a date for New Jersey at this point. Um, I wish I could go back. I wish I could go to a lot more places, but it's a matter of time, and there's so many places, and so little time. You should auction the Colorado or raffle it. I'd buy a ticket. I can't wait. Whatever new ride you get. Thank you, Bob's videos, and there will be a reveal when that happens. Um, but I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna trade the Colorado in. To Hey Barb, hello Robert. Sorry to hop on for a short period. Jim and I are working. Going to be hard to hear you. Well, I'm glad you're here. And say hi to Jim. Question: will you be selling the Colorado? I'm gonna trade it in. That's probably what it's gonna be. And there's nothing wrong with the Colorado, but it's getting up there in miles, and I want to get something with a little more oomph and something with a four-wheel drive. So, can somebody give me a good service address for Starlink? Asking for a friend. Well, for Starlink, going to starlink.com actually, the best way to do it. And let me see if I can show you my other screen here, just for a moment. You go into Starlink. Let's see, can I show you this? You go into Starlink, and this is right up here. When you click on the top left hand side, there's a coverage map, and it tells you like what the addresses are. Whatever is in clear light blue is whatever is available. Whatever is in dark blue is what is not available. For example, and this is what happened at Pelicamp. Available now. Actually, this changed, believe it or not. But okay. Here's Perry. Like there's nothing in Perry, but down here at Pelicamp, we got right on the edge of this cell, and that's where we were able to get it. And what I can infer by this map, they're trying to service first addresses where there is poor internet or no internet at all. Like in highly populated areas like Charlotte or big cities like in Miami, for example. They're not servicing Miami, but they're servicing Flamingo in the Everglades where there's nothing. So has nothing to do with the coverage by the satellites. It's just they're just servicing areas that have no internet at all whatsoever first. And so I would look into that map and look for an area uh, that is in the non-wait list part of the map. And then once you get it, you can pay an extra $25 for portability, and then you can use it virtually everywhere that you have a clear view of the sky. Over here, unfortunately, there are a lot of trees. Actually, for the past few minutes, it's been behaving better. I'm monitoring just in case I have to change to as I like to call it, Pelistar. But right now, I mean, we're getting low quality streaming, but it's working. So I'm not gonna. If it ain't broke, right? Don't fix it. What are the plans for winter 23-24, Dylan? We're going back to the west. We're going to Quartzsite, and then from Quartzsite, I'm gonna do something similar to what I did in winter 19. Kind of, sort of. Maybe we'll do a little bit of Havasu City, go up to the city that I can never remember the name in Colorado. That I mean Colorado in Nevada. You know which one I'm talking about? The one that has all the casinos, borders California, and then probably a little bit of Utah, and I don't know. I don't know yet. We have to monitor the weather, of course. For I'm trying to look it up here real quick. with the limited internet that we have. Here we go. This is Havasu City, of course. Oh, never mind, I can't find it now. Here we go, Laughlin. Laughlin, Nevada. That's the town. Remy, Robert, have you experienced resistance from the recent storms? I have not. I have not. Hey, Red Jaguar is here, and Jim in DC. Starlink appears available for much of the Lewis and Clark Trail. We have the access info. They didn't. Yeah, right. Yeah, I think Starlink is available everywhere. There's no technical reason for it to not to be available. Just south of whatever parallel that is in Canada. It's just like south of Sitka, Alaska. It's just because the satellites don't work up there near the pole. But other than that, yeah. Hey, show me slowly how you get to the coverage map. You're moving too fast, please. Oh, I probably am. And that they didn't have that coverage map. They just okay. Here you go, and I'm gonna show you one more time. You go to Starlink to the Starlink homepage right here, and then you go to this icon on the top left, and it'll show you the coverage map. And I presume there's no technical reason for you to have no coverage south of this line, south of this parallel here. I should be able to have internet everywhere except Canada. You're only supposed to get it in your home country, so you would need a different contract if you are going to a different country. So anywhere in the lower 48, I'm gonna have Starlink basically. So Mary Callan, hello there. Long time. My summer plans have been greatly reduced. Still planning to climb Long's Peak in August. Well, hope you have a good summer. Um, and you know it's always good to climb. Has anybody seen my mom? I see people saying hello to my mom, and I haven't seen her. Hey, saludos, greetings. I hope you have a wonderful evening. Enjoy the weekend. Love, mom. Everybody say hello to my mom. And hello there, Red Jaguar, the Aloha Conch. Hello. How did you like Plymouth, Massachusetts? You know, the calling. I didn't get to enjoy Plymouth as much as I would have hoped to, but I saw the Plymouth Rock, and that's it. And we have an unusual super sticker from Ely. Say hello to Ely. You're amazing. I am amazing. She seems to think so, so it's probably true, right? Thank you. Oh man, they must be having a good time in there with Bob and Sue. Salty Groot. Hi Robert. Good seeing you again. Thank you. Hi Robert. What airline is your favorite? I don't really have a favorite. You know, I used to like believe it or not, like Ripley. Like for short flights like that, and it is the one that a lot of people dislike. I didn't mind Spirit. It's like a bus, you know. It's non-pretentious. They don't pretend to be like they're gonna treat you right. It's just like taking a Greyhound. You're just flying. And but I can tell you the worst flight I've ever had was on TAP Portugal. It was pretty bad, and it was a cheap flight to Europe. granted, and but they were having a strike. They messed up our tickets, and I ended up in the middle between a large person and someone else. It was the most uncomfortable flight I've ever had. But other than that, Spirit is most reliable. I agree, Remy. I mean, American is good. And actually, the only time I flew on a 747 was on British Airways, which is fine too. But Spirit, it's reliable. They, you know, it is what it is. Are you drinking IPA? If so, what kind? This was a present from a viewer I met a couple of days ago in Pigeon Forge, Justin. And it's an IPA from Cahaba Brewing Company in his hometown of Birmingham, Alabama, which I want to visit again. Amaury de Montfort. Hello from Paris. Hello, Paris. And bonjour, actually, bonsoir for you. That'd be like, it must be almost midnight in Paris, right? Uh, The Restless Mermaid in Massachusetts. Santa Fe plug-in hybrid. See how well it pulls a trailer. Well, hopefully, you would think the Hyundai Santa Fe seems to be a pretty good vehicle for a small trailer. I would say so. Yeah. Robert, have you ever thought of climbing Mount Whitney? You and Ely have a great weekend. Thanks for your videos. And yes, Nancy Reynolds, that's one of those. It is a lottery unless you do it like early in the season when there's still snow. And I definitely want to climb Mount Whitney, which is the tallest peak in the lower 48 in the contiguous United States. So that's kind of bucket list. You kind of have to do it in 2 days. So I wouldn't want to do it alone. I want to have someone else who knows how to pitch a tent and that kind of thing. But yeah, that's bucket list, and I'll have it. We'll do it eventually. It's one of those with the together with the Bright Angel Trail, or at least the rim to rim trail and the Grand Canyon and some other trails that I want to do before I get too old. So yeah, JetBlue is pretty good. I flew to Puerto Rico in JetBlue and it was a good flight. Taz Jammer, I actually live in Matlacha, Robert, but call it Fort Myers because nobody would know where Matlacha. But you do, yeah. And some people will call it Matlacha because but Matlacha is beautiful island. I love it, and I discovered it the first time we actually went to Pine Island. There, the largest island in Florida, I believe. Um, and we drove through this small town that reminded us kind of what the Florida Keys used to be like. And I'm like, yeah, this is Matlacha. And then we discovered that Sugar Sand RV Resort, and the rest is history. Wisconsin Traveler, hi Robert, Mom, Millie. Last time you were in that area was just after the fires. Hope things are recovered there. When we were there were a lot of charred trees. It was beautiful in Gatlinburg, and we did two of the ski lifts, and it was very nice. Jim and DC, rim to rim, let's do it, ready to roll. I tried to do it this year, but it turns out I was planning it, and I was gonna give you a call. Believe it or not, that hotel at the bottom of the canyon is extremely difficult to make a reservation for. So let's not do it this year. Let's do it next year. And I think that the sweet spot is to do it the week where they reopen the North Rim. So the North Rim is going to be open, but it's not going to be too hot climbing up to the South Rim. So I believe that's in October or something like that. So we'll plan for that and reserve it 1 year ahead of time because I'd rather stay at the hotel down there, at the lodge down there. Mm. Happy Friday, Modest Means. Michelle K. Hi, Robert, why did you decide not to take MT? MT as in Montana or as in Minitini? Decide not to take Minitini. Take it where? Um, Can you go to Canada with Minitini II? Okay, this is the thing with Minitini II or Minitini III, which is this one, or Minitini IV, which we're gonna negotiate something, I'm sure. This is basically a loaner with dealer plates, and that would really give me a hard time crossing the border with this rig. So what I want to do to cross into Canada, I want to have my own rig with Florida plates, with my own registration. I mean, you're telling me you're a YouTuber, and that already you know you know rings enough bells for them to be suspicious. So I don't want to run into any trouble at the border. And what I'm thinking, have a trailer, and I'm sure Winnebago can work out some magic to give me ownership of the trailer with my own Florida tag and registration, and temporarily I could, we'll figure out. We might do it with Minitini 4. This trailer might be a little too. I mean, I don't even know if there's going to be a Minitini 4, but I'm just speculating here. You're on. Just say when. Will do, Jim. I will. A neon pony. You should try FR300. I'm on the Mogollon Rim if open in the winter. I've heard of that Mogollon Rim, and we're gonna do it. Robert, any favorite spots in Northern California along the coast? Well, you have to do the redwoods. The redwoods are amazing, and that will be my favorite spot in Northern California. It's not quite the coast, and there's like a forgotten coast there that I want to visit at some point, probably this year if I can. So yeah, Robert, I plan on visiting Austin, Texas this summer. I got any tips of places to visit? Just enjoy it. Austin is a great city, beautiful, a walkable city. Just walk on that pedestrian bridge over the bridge. Go see the bats, even though the bats are supposedly are not as great as they used to be in the past. Um, and other than that, just enjoy the city. Go to Lake Travis and have some barbecue. Red Jaguar Traveling Robert, I really liked your review on the Sun Jellystone Park. Sun Outdoors have purchased many of the campgrounds in our area up to Maryland. Yeah, they have all the Jellystones and a lot of campgrounds that used to be Sun RV resorts, but they were not branded altogether. And Sun Outdoors, what they have done, they have rebranded everything, and yeah, and I mean, disclaimer, they're a sponsor, but I think that they have a good product. I think they they're a well-run operation, if you will, well managed. So I don't mind. I actually like for them to be being a sponsor. Hi Robert, I watched the Blair Witch Project. Do you watch any horror movies? I'm addicted to horror. You should watch Arachnophobia, scariest comedy movie ever. I don't know if I watched Arachnophobia back in the 90s. I don't know if this is the same one. And my favorite from back in the day was were the Friday the 13th. I really don't watch a lot of movies anymore, and I don't watch horror anymore as much. Uh, but Friday the 13th, it was scary and sexy at the same time, and it was at the time, I was a teenager, and I loved it. Uh, Need to paint a big Canadian flag on the side of the RV, and I'll just sing "Oh Canada" and we'll be fine. Yeah, don't take Robert's lemons. Well, at the Canada border they might. At the California border they will for sure. Robert, can enhanced license border hassles you less? Well, I have a passport, and I don't think but an enhanced license could be the way. Yeah. Well, there you go. You're speaking my language. Well, hey, happy Forget the World, happy the 13th, and that's right. Today's Friday the 13th, and I didn't realize, but yeah, what my favorite horror movie would have been Friday the 13th, Part Two. Part One, I wasn't too much of a fan of, but two through four. Four was actually a 3D movie at the time. So yeah, Daniel Ruiz, thank you for that super chat. Austin to San Jose, they call it the nerd bird. Have you ever stayed at Huntington State Beach in South Carolina? It's a beautiful campground full of beach and wildlife. No, I have not. One of these days. One of these days. For all intents and purposes, yes. Oh, so you are retired now. Well, congratulations, Red Jaguar. Between two Silicon Valley type locations. Well, my favorite is Mountain View, California, where there's neither a mountain nor a view, but they have Google. Jason is my favorite. Can be. I agree. I totally agree, Remy. You know, one of these days, and this it is actually one of my lifetime goals. When I get old and I can't travel anymore or something, or eventually, it doesn't happen to have to happen that way. I want to get a large TV, a good surround sound system, and watch all those movies again. And some of the ones that I haven't watched, some that I haven't watched in a long time, like Lawrence of Arabia. One of those. And Johnny Kite Bartolo celebrating 9 months of membership. Thank you so much, and congratulations for being a chief Pelican executive producer. There you go. When we watch our next Friday, we'll be in our RV up by Cape Canaveral, enjoying our first trip in our rig. Time to explore. Well, congratulations. And next Friday, am I going to be in DC? I think I'm going to be in DC next Friday. I don't even know. And that's a good thing, actually. It's kind of a blessing in disguise, not knowing where you're going to be next. That's kind of the goal, right? And I don't even know where my calendar is here. I think I closed that tab. I have like 20 tabs open in my browser, all useless. Any case, we try to order bright sellers and they will not deliver to us. I'm sorry about that. Some states and some countries will have those kinds of restrictions, and it's unfortunate, but it is what it is, right? Where are we going to be next Friday? Yep, we're going back to our nation's capital. Hello, Apple Forever. Question: After Alaska in 2023, which way are you planning to take the Trans Canada? Well, if we're coming back from Alaska, it's probably going to be west to east. So we'll see. We'll see. El Mandalorian, The Exorcist, really spooked me. Yes, I did. I did. Me too. And I watched it. I didn't watch it in the 70s when it came out. There was a time, I want to say early 2000s, when I got my first DVD player. And my DVD player came with a special offer for this brand new company at the time. This was like 2001. Brand new company at the time called Netflix. No late fees. They would send you movies over the mail. And you would watch them and return them. And when you return the movie, they would send you another one. And I think that was the time of my life where I saw the most movies. Like in between 2001 and, I don't know, 2010, when we decided to kill the subscription. Pat Johnson, thank you for that super chat. Thank you so much. Pretty much a Bud Light fan, but would love to have an IPA with you. When is your next visit to Tucson? Probably sometime in January, February of next year. So I wouldn't mind having a Bud Light with you. By the way, I'm getting hungry, so I might. Are you taking the Dalton Highway again if I go back to Alaska? You bet. Yes. My plan is to drive up with a trailer to Marion Creek, which is, I believe, right before Wiseman. And believe me, I've studied that at that Dalton Highway a lot, especially back then when we did it 12 years ago. Um, and then I'll do the North Slope just with the truck. Probably spend the night at one of the hotels in Prudhoe Bay. Do the tour to the Arctic Ocean. You have to do it, and I might even join the Polar Bear Club this time around. Jim in DC loved getting the red Netflix envelopes in the mail. Me too. And this was one of those things. And Bob Leach is talking about Redbox as well. I think they're still in business, but and a lot of people liked Redbox rather than Netflix. But with Netflix, you didn't have to, go to the supermarket to get your movie. You get it in you have your queue with your preferences, and you get your next movie. And I watched a lot of like movies from the '70s as well. I watched the original Manchurian Candidate. There was one about this plane that crashed in the desert, and they made like a smaller plane out of that big plane. I forget that all these movies after the fact they made remakes, but. Yeah, it was. I love watching movies, and I love some of the classics. Some of the newer movies don't really do it for me. So, hold on a second. I don't know. I haven't watched like a great movie lately, if you know what I mean. Daniel Ruiz, thank you for that super chat. When you come in from a day out, where do you chuck your hat? In Spain, you to put your hat in the bed is a really bad idea. It will bring you bad luck. Is this true? I don't know. Hat on the bed. I have my hats up there, somewhere, up there, there. Andrea 808, thank you for the super chat. My husband and I love your channel, sending you lots of aloha and positive vibes from Hawaii. And someday I'll visit you. I'm waiting for the bridge or the tunnel. Let me turn on some lights here because it is starting to get a little dark here in the foothills of Appalachia. And my phone died. Hold on. And by the way, yes, I am neglecting my map back there. I do have to add some states to it. I will do it this week for sure. I will do it this week for sure. There's still some red bucks around DC. I've seen red bucks around Miami too. So I guess not everybody just streams. Some I guess some people still um, watch DVDs like they do. It's funny. I stopped selling CDs like 2 months ago, and now everybody wants to buy CDs again, which is and but there's something to be said for physical media and Blu-ray, not DVDs, but Blu-ray definitely looks better than most streaming. Um, some of the new 4K stuff is amazing, but Blu-ray does look good. Lucky Dog Productions drive the ice roads in Alaska, hanging out the window of your truck, listening for ice cracking. Now that would be fun. Now I'm gonna do Alaska in summer, Bob. But I watched enough ice road truckers to know it should be a fun proposition if I can get someone to drive me up there in winter. That would be great. Like I can take a tour, stay at the Arctic getaway up there in Wiseman for a couple of days. I've always wanted to experience Alaska in the dead of winter, and a place like Wiseman where it doesn't get daylight for the sun doesn't rise for a couple of weeks at a time. In the dead of winter, they're so far above the Arctic Circle. But then again, I would love to experience that in Lofoten, in Norway as well. Um, okay, Jim in DC. Once again, you're reading my mind, and that would totally be a vanity project for me. But someday I'm gonna do it. I want to release my greatest hits on vinyl. It's been a dream of mine to listen. Actually, that's kind of sounds bad, but I've always wanted to listen to myself on vinyl and listen to the crackling of the vinyl. And I might do it. I'm gonna lose money on the project, but I might do it. Come to upstate New York. Much beauty here. I agree. I agree. We've been to Western upstate New York, which I've been reliably informed is technically not upstate New York. It's more like Northwest New York. But I'll be back. I'll be back sometime this fall if all goes well. Going to Cherokee. I just came from Cherokee, drove through there. Lovely town. It's grown a lot. From the Cherokee I remember from 15, 20 years ago. So yeah. How's this channel not the number one most watched RV travel channel on all of YouTube? I don't know, man. I would. Wouldn't that be cool? But I'm not complaining. I'm I'm happy. I'm pleased with where we are right now, and it is all right. I'll let somebody else have the first place. It's not a competition. A it's just a matter of enjoying the journey, and I'm enjoying the journey a lot. We get the CDs, Daniel Ruiz, and play them on trips to the wine country up of State Highway 49, the foothills of California. Oh, thank you. Hey, Christopher Olson, thanks for tonight. Have a great weekend, all. From Sweden. I want to go back to Sweden, man. I always say the same thing, but I will. Favorite trip snacks? I like myself sometimes nuts. I have that Planters Selects that have like cashews and pecan and not peanuts, but cashews, pecans, and almonds, and that's what I'll have sometimes just to entertain my stomach, like right now before we go like get a proper dinner. No sunrises for me, some sunsets. Well, the thing for many years I didn't see any sunrises because I wouldn't wake up early enough. The only sun when I was a musician, the only sunrises I saw was if we finished the party late enough, we could stay an extra hour and wait for the sunrise. But I like both, and especially when you get a campsite, waterfront on the East Coast, you get you get to watch some of the best sunrises for sure. Paracord 101, thanks for sharing the journey. Thank you so much. Taz Jammer Vinyl Rules. I have a pair of Altex. Bought them in Schweinfurt FRG in '77. They still boom. Well, I still have my Technics 1200s from the early '90s, and they work great. What's the IPA tonight? Well, tonight we're having a Cahaba IPA from Birmingham, Alabama. A present from a viewer who I met at the Flapjacks place in Pigeon Forge. We had some pancakes, shared some stories from the road, and he got me some IPAs. What else? What could possibly be better? Jim and DC vinyl sounds so warm. There are several pressers. You might do okay on cost. I'm probably gonna go through CD Baby, which is Disc Makers, is the company they use, and but it's a lot of money just to press 1,000 copies. I think if I sell them for $20, I'll break even. But I might do it. I might do it just for vanity's sake. which, according to Al Pacino in The Devil's Advocate, good movie by the way, with Al Pacino, and is his favorite sin. Barry 81 Jones, thank you for that super chat. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it, man. And had to cancel lots of trips due to fuel prices, but I'll never give up our annual Florida trip. Top Sail Hill State Park this year. Well, enjoy. And Danny Stone Outdoors. And I know, gas prices, they vary greatly. They're good relatively better in Georgia. Most memorable hike, that has to be Angel's Landing, just because of the sheer danger and excitement, and it was so thrilling to do Angel's Landing in winter with the snow. But I want to say Yosemite Falls and Yosemite Point will take an honorable mention on this one, because I enjoyed those tremendously. Actually, that Yosemite Point was probably the hardest one physically, and then Angel's Landing was the hardest emotionally, and you face your fears, you face your vertigo doing those things. Selling records sold. I'm gonna have to do it now. Am I not? What's the tallest mountain you ever saw? Mount Rainier is 14,441. I believe Mount Evans. That's the tallest mountain I've ever climbed. I don't. I think it's a little more than that. I know it is over 14,000. Traveling Rob, what's your favorite song? Mine's Lofoten. Out of mine, I don't know. Lofoten is one of my favorite ones, as far as the what I did to it. It's one of those songs that I wish I could one day record. If I could afford the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra, the Royal Philharmonic, to record it together with Falling Water. I don't have a favorite one, to be honest about it. It all depends on my mood. Desert Rain is also one of my favorites. Um, Driving to the West seems to be everybody's favorite, as far as mainstream. According to Spotify, is my number one song. So yeah, Red Jaguars, smash that like button. I believe Red Jaguars' favorite is Music City. So I love Music City too, by the way. Yosemite Falls hike was amazing. Yeah, Yosemite National Park is one of those places that it's just so uniquely beautiful, with those waterfalls that seems like they're falling in slow motion. I mean, it's you have to be there. You have to be there to experience it. And do you plan to go to a larger camper, a fifth wheel, eventually? Very unlikely, unless I'm never say never, right? Maybe in 20 years or 30 years, I'm gonna be 80 years old, and I may not want to move as often as I do now, and I may settle down and get a fifth wheel, and but I don't see myself towing a fifth wheel from place to place or something large like that. I don't. God, wouldn't it be cool to release your music on limited edition vinyl pressed in Nashville? I'm happy to be the first customer. Thank you. I would love to do it in Nashville. Can you imagine Nashville, Music City in Nashville? That would be great. Your name here. Thank you for that super chat. Happy Friday, Robert. Given the fuel prices, will you consider an EV like the F-150 Lightning? Not yet. I think at some point, EVs are going to be, and more importantly, charging stations are going to be ubiquitously enough that is going to justify having an EV. Right now, for right now, I'm going to stick to internal combustion. I'm going to still to gasoline, and that's just me. But I do see myself driving an EV RV at some point, maybe sooner than later. We'll just have to learn to slow down a little more, because let's face it, that F-150 Lightning, yeah, it'll probably give you 300 miles on one charge normally, but once you're towing, it cuts that in half. So um, we'll see. I'm certain the future is EVs, but it's not there yet. We're like, remember, I don't know if you did, but I was back then. I was going to college for it, and I was so excited about digital television. It was the future. We're talking 1996, 1997. Digital TV was the future. And 20 years later, digital TV was the reality, high definition, and all that. So I think we are at that point when it comes to electric vehicles and all that. We're still a few years away from the technology to mature enough. So we are, and the infrastructure more than the technology, because there could be an infrastructure point where you swap batteries. You go to a gas station or a EV station, and you swap a battery and keep going. Wouldn't that be like ideal? If we can standardize, like on a standard battery that every vehicle uses, and you swap the battery and swap it at the next station and swap it at the next station. I don't know. It's just a thought. Elon, are you listening? Neon Pony. Every time it rains here, nearly I put on desert rain. Wash away the dust, though in vain. We still have turntables, so if you press some LPs, we buy them too. The Pelican album may make the big billboard by storm. Hey, you never know, right? You know your music is on Cubas in high resolution. Sounds very nice. I'm pretty sure I'm everywhere. I know Tidal has it, and and I do like to listen to high resolution when possible. Aaron Engelwicks, thank you for that super chat. Thank you. Thanks for all the great videos. I'm ready to see the 2022 summer season. It's gonna be like a spring summer. I don't even know what to call it yet. I'm calling it the Lewis and Clark trip, but internally in some of my folders I have spring 2022. Some of them I have summer 2022. I don't know what I'm doing, but I think that the season is gonna be officially called the Lewis and Clark trip eventually, after all is said and done. Let me just click something here that I. My favorite song in Robert's videos is Key West. Can you whistle Key West? Yeah, that's a good one too. I love reggae music, and Jim and DC, an EV truck with an independent drive EV trailer. That'll work. Are you talking about that new Airstream? Hmm. I'm gonna show you guys something real quick. This is the template for the Lewis and Clark trip, and the thumbnails are gonna look something like that. So I just don't know exactly how to do it yet, because some videos are gonna be history based, as in Lewis and Clark, but some videos are not. Like we're gonna visit the Ark, Noah's Ark in Kentucky. Autograph the covers, you'll make a profit. Thinking like a Ferengi now. There you go. Ah, I love all the Ingrid. I love all the content you produce. You are good at what you do. Thank you. I love what I do, and I think that's I think for anybody that's one of the key elements into. And of course, I didn't know I was going to succeed until I succeeded. But I think that's one of the key elements, at least one of the requirements. If you want to succeed doing something, you have to do something that you love, that you won't mind working until 2 a.m. on it sometimes, and that's what I do sometimes. Keith Rachek. By the way, what's the coffee maker you use? Every cup of coffee looks amazing. You make. I use a Bialetti espresso maker, a stovetop espresso maker. Yep, that's the one that I use. Gentle Fire, I appreciate your editing and use of your music in your videos. You manage to match moments and music well. Well, thank you. And didn't always have all the music to match the videos, but eventually over the years, I've been able to. Hi, Robert. Funny story. I almost fainted in fifth grade. I was dressed as Louis. It was a hot day. I almost fainted. Well, believe it or not, Lewis and Clark, that was the coldest winter any European descendant ever felt in Fort Mandan, North Dakota. Nia and Pony, you should take one of those pneumatic rifles like they had on the expedition. They had trouble killing grizzly bears, so I don't know. I might do a reenactment at some point. Mark Schmidt from Las Vegas, fun town, Las Vegas, Nevada. The song on Mackinac Island you did, it was nice. Reminded me of the movie Somewhere in Time. My mom's always watched. Yeah, I did. I did it. Inspired on that, of course. The one that I put on the record, on the actual CD, I changed the melody a little bit just so it wouldn't be like a, even though I'm pretty sure Rashmaninoff at this point is public domain. I didn't want to have the exact same melody, so I did something slightly different. If I may ask you, what got you interested in Alaska? Well, I was there in 2010, and before I traveled this much, I was always interested in like extreme places in the world, like uh, like the Dalton Highway in Alaska. Most northernmost place highway that you can drive in America. Of course, there's Lofoten, northernmost place, not Lofoten, the North Cape, northernmost place you can drive in the world. There's a city in Siberia that is the coldest city in the world. There's Mount Evans that is the highest paved road in America, and places like that. And especially when I wasn't able to travel as much, I would daydream and research places like this. And that's what got me. And when I went to Alaska, we went to the Denali National Park, yes, but we didn't go to like the iconic places that everybody goes, like Anchorage, Seward Peninsula, Sitka, the capital. No, we went to the Dalton Highway. Not because of the ice road truckers reality show. I had researched that Dalton Highway before, and then I realized, oh, Ice Road Truckers. Let's watch this series because it's based on this place that I've been researching for so long. So, it is. I don't know if the most beautiful state, but Alaska is incredible. It's one place that everybody should visit at least once. Huang Nung. Thank you for that. No, it's not a super chat. But you're celebrating 9 months of being a chief pelican head. Thank you so much. And I enjoy watching your adventurous traveling videos, Mr. Roberto. Thank you, Juan, for being here. Thank you. And for being a member for such a long time. Just went to the Ark today. Enjoyed it very much. It's in the plans for the next couple of weeks. Bear spray, then pray. I carry it everywhere, even some places where it's not necessary. But it's better to have it and not need it than not have it at the time when you need it, right? All right. Oh, I'm out of beer. That means this is the end of the chat, isn't it? Meriwether Lewis, he was shot twice, or did he die on his own life? European, I don't know. No, I mean, he was a person that was, according to history, according to what we've read, that was entirely stable mentally. He was could have been bipolar. He was a person that he would be very happy at some time, and then go through depression. So it's not inconceivable that the man killed himself, but we don't know, right? It could. I mean, there were a lot of bandits on the Natchez Trace at that time, so he could have been killed. The conspiracy theorists might think, they didn't want him to spread maybe some knowledge he knew, and I don't know. I want to think maybe, unfortunately, he did kill himself after his feat of making it to the West. How can you top that? There's no way you can top that. And if you're that kind of person that you need the next thing, what do you do after that? You are up there with Christopher Columbus, Magellan, Neil Armstrong. You're in that small group of people who have been somewhere for the first time, and it's for their people. So anyway, we're gonna leave it at that. Just don't do the reenactment of Lewis and Clark going into the river. Although Ely could play Sacagawea, I'm gonna do the banana boat in the Missouri River at some point. Watch me, and I'm gonna row the banana boat in the Missouri River. And with that, I want to thank you all for being here, for your courage. Thank you so much. I want to wish Dylan Reynolds a very happy 19th birthday. Happy birthday, dear Dylan. Happy birthday to you. I'm calling as well. Birthday coming up. And now, hold on. I see Bob coming with a glass of wine. So maybe he wants to say goodbye to you guys. And hold on. Don't go away. Because Bob is going to say,
What? What?
you want to be on television?
Of course.
Come
I'm
over,
always
come over.
on television.
Hold on.
Hold my wine.
Hold your wine.
Okay.
Everybody hold on.
Did you tell him I was a legend?
Not yet, but
Well,
I'm going to tell them now.
Introduce me. Where's the camera?
The camera is here.
Okay.
Here's the. Oh, what did I do?
Here I am.
Right, hold on. Here's
How many years playing together? 11?
Like
15?
15 years, probably playing together in the band, and La Leyenda, the legend of Cuban music all over the world, my friend.
Confirmed by the University of Miami Cuban Studies Department.
Must be true. Must be true, right?
Must be true because of that. Otherwise, I don't agree with that either. But anyway, your wife says,
that we have to go eat.
that we have to go eat, and she's hungry.
No, I was wrapping it up right now, so
Well, wrapping it up, people.
until
love
the
you.
next one, thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend. Robert is drunk. No, Robert is drunk.
Almost.
We're Bob and Bob. There you go. Until the next one, thank you so much for watching, and see you on the road, because I'm riding in my RV. I'll just play the intro. Here we go.
I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my.
All right, everybody. Have a great weekend. Happy Friday the 13th. And I'll see you next week. Same time, different city next week from our nation's capital. So, hey, we might have Jim as a guest. Who knows? Bye, everybody. Have a great weekend.